Good morning, finance class. I'm going to jump into 4.5, which is on linear car depreciation. I'm going to start with some review of things from Algebra 1. So first I want to review slope-intercept form. When we see linear, think of the word line. So we're talking about straight line graphs. Slope-intercept form is the most common form of our linear equations, and that's y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is the y-intercept, meaning it intercepts the y-axis. Okay, so m is our slope, b is our y-intercept. There should not be an s there. I apologize, it's not plural. The next thing I wanted to review with you is what intercepts are. So intercepts are points that intercept the x and y axes. So these are points that lie on the x-axis or on the y-axis. So for example, if x is 0 and I have a value for y, that is my y-intercept. If I have an x value but 0 for y, that is an x-intercept. Okay. And next is our slope. So slope is characterized by the letter m, but there is a way to find our slope if we're given 2 points. It's the difference in our y values divided by the difference in our x values. Okay, so we're going to jump in. We're going to do a lot of examples that look like your homework. So I set this up. All right, so Jason purchased a car. Here's his price that he paid. And for all of these, think X represents the number of years, and this is for all of our problems, and Y will represent the value of car in dollars. Okay, so like how much you paid for it, how much it's worth, because as soon as you purchase the car, it loses value. So it's kind of silly to have a big loan on something that's losing value versus when you have a loan on your home, homes increase in value, cars decrease. So this says that according to his research, this make and model, so maybe this is Kelly's Blue Book that told him this, the model of the car loses all of its marketable value after 9 years. If it depreciates in a straight line form, what are the coordinates of the intercepts? So my intercepts would be, remember x is number of years. So in 9 years, the car is worth $0. The second intercept is when he buys it, so that would be the start of your time frame. So in 0 years, the day he buys it, it's worth $22,995. And so that is how you would set up your intercepts. And that's it for that problem. Number 2, it says, suppose Phyllis knows that her straight line depreciates at a rate of almost $2,000, right? $1,997 per year over an 11-year period. What was the original price of her car? So 11 years, and each year she's losing $1,997. So I'm simply going to multiply that in my calculator, and I get $21,967. And that's it. That's what she originally paid for the value of the car. Next one. I'm skipping number 3, but you can have this pulled up when you're doing your homework, right? And refer to like, oh, this problem looks like this one online. I'm going to use what she did in this one. Sorry. A new car sells for $29,250. It's straight line depreciate. A straight line depreciate means it depreciates the same amount every year. And it does this for 13 years. What is the slope? So slope means rate of change. So it's asking how much am I losing per year? So I would take the total of my car and divide it by 13 years. This will tell me how much I'm losing every year. So I got $22.50, but that's an amount. I'm not gaining that each year. I'm losing that each year. Depreciates means it's decreasing over time. Depreciate is a very business term, but most assets decrease in value over time. So my final answer would actually be negative $22.50 because it's decreasing that amount per year. Number 5. So here they've already set up the equation for us. Now I know this, looking at this, that is the amount it depreciates each year. And I know this is the amount of original price of the car, just looking at it. So in part A, what is the original price? It was $20,625. So this equation tells me the starting price, and it tells me what it's negative, so it tells me what I'm losing every year. How many years will it take for this car to straight line depreciate? So this is saying to equal $0 in marketable value. So remember when I set this up, X is years. This is money. So they're asking me when it says how many years, it means I'm solving for X when Y equals 0. So I'm going to plug 0 in for Y, and I'm going to solve for X because X is time. So I'm going to subtract 20,625 from each side. Right, so I subtract it from the left, subtract it from the right, and now I'm going to divide by negative 1875. And I got X will equal 0 in 11 years. Next one. Write and graph a straight line depreciation equation for a car that was purchased at $27,450 and completely depreciates after 10 years. So I'm going to set up my intercepts. You actually don't need your intercepts. If you just want to know, in order to find slope, 27,450 divided by 10 will equal my slope, which is also my rate of depreciation. So 27,450, if you divide that, I left this off. I get M equals negative, this should be M equals negative 2745. Now remember, the calculator won't say negative, but it's negative because depreciation means I'm losing this amount each year. So when I set this up, I'm going to do the rate at which I'm losing value in my car times X, because that's my slope, plus the starting amount. So this is my purchase price. This was rate of depreciation. I think the book uses the intercepts, but I think that is going to take you even longer. All right, number 7. So this says Caroline purchased a car 4 years ago at a price of $28,400. According to the research, it's going to have a 0 value after 8 years. How much will this car be worth in 51 months? Okay, so I know that her original price is $28,400, but it's going to equal $0 in 8 years. So this is going to tell me how much it's decreasing each year. Okay, so when I divided this, I got 3,550. So I know M is a negative 3,550 because it's depreciating. Remember, depreciating means to decrease. I know the starting amount was $28.40. Okay, so I know that much. Now let's talk about, I have 51 months. I need to put that in years. So I have to divide by 12. And that gives me 4.25 years. So let's start with my equation. Y equals, I'm depreciating $3,550 per year, but in this case we're plugging in 4.25, and I started with a purchase price of $28,400. Okay, and they want to know the value today, so that's why this says Y. They're looking for what's the value going to be, sorry, not today, but in 51 months. So if I enter all of this on the right using those fancy calculators or Desmos, so negative 3550 times 4.25 plus 28,400, and I got 13. Remember, this is money. Y, $13,312.50. Number 8. The straight line depreciation equation is here. In approximately how many years, remember years is X, will the car's value drop by 30%? So let's first figure out that right there is the original price. So 49,800 minus, what is 30% of 49,800? Right? I've lost 30%. So 49,800 minus 0.30 times 49,800, and I get that now 30% less is 34,860. All right, so I've got, they're asking how many years. So 34,860 is my value, equals, here's my equation, X, I don't know X, I'm looking for X, plus 49,800. So in number 7, I was solving for Y, how much it's worth. Now I'm solving for X, how long it'll take to be worth that amount. So I'm going to subtract 49,800 from each side. This is 0, and on this side I got negative 14,940 equals negative 4150x. Divide, right? Basic Algebra 1, we divide to get x by itself. And x equals 3.6 years. All right, moving on. Number 9. So we're going to do all the pieces here. Katie purchased, in fact, really quick, let me find my ruler because I know we're going to end up graphing. All right, so Katie purchased a new car for $27,599. It'll be worth $0 in 13 years. So find our intercepts. Okay, remember, in 13 years, my car will be worth $0 because remember, X is years, Y is value. In 0 years, the day I purchased it, it was worth $27,599. So years should always be first. The price should be second. Determine the slope. I'm simply going to divide $27,599 by the 13. And that gave me $2,123, but I know it should be negative because this is the amount it's decreasing by each year. Write the equation. So Y equals the rate at which it's decreasing times the number of years plus the original price he purchased it for. Finally, draw a graph. Now, don't freak out about these graphs. Super, super easy. All right, so I'm going to do this so that I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Try to space them out perfectly, but if you can't. So I'm going by 2. Sorry, I'll put this down here. Because the only 2 points I have to plot are those 2 right there. Those are the only 2 points. That's it. Okay? So, this down here, remember, X is years, Y is money. So I'm going all the way to 28. I'm going to go with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, I'm going to do by 5,000. This is 5,000. So 5K, 10,000, 15,000, 25,000. So this would be 30. So the only 2 points I have to plot are 13, 0 and 0, 27, 5, 9, 9. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 27, 5, 9, 9 is almost 28. I'm just going to put it in the middle of 25 and 30. And that's it. Next. So we're going to practice all of that over again. So number 10, same thing. So here's our original purchase price, 8 years. So remember, in 8 years, the car will be worth $0. The day I purchased it, so 0 time has gone by, it was worth $16,208. Don't mind me, there's a fly that's been flying around in here, and so I keep having to shoo it away. Determine the slope. So he purchased it for $16,208. In 8 years, it'll be worth $0. So if I divide, I get a rate of 2,026. Remember, that represents a decreasing amount, so it should be negative. Write the equation. So you can pause this video, see if you can write the equation. It should be the rate at which my value is decreasing plus the value at which I purchased the car. Draw the graph of straight line depreciation. Remember, I'm only graphing those 2 lines or 2 points I put in part A. Now I notice my numbers are even. So this time I'm going to go by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then this here is years. Remember, this side is money. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So here's 4, here's 8. The only 2 points we're plotting, 8, 0, 16, that's a little over 16. Boom, that's it. Next one. All right, number 11. Here's our problem. Here's the formula. So what is the original price? Is that number there? So 59,710. How much value does the truck lose per year is your negative rate. Sorry, these should have dollar signs. And I guess you don't need the negative here. You're losing that. How many years will it take? So I'm looking for when will it equal $0. So here's my equation. We're looking for when it will equal $0. So subtract 59,710 from each side. Divide by your negative slope. And I get x equals, if you use your calculator, I have that x equals 14 years. 12. So here they've already graphed it, and we're going to answer the following questions. So the first question it asks us is, well, what price was the car purchased? Right there, that point right there, so $18,000. After how many years will it be 0? Let me look right there, because it's at 0, so 10 years. Write the equation. So 18,000 divided by 10 will give me my slope, or rate at which it's decreasing. So if I divide that, I get 1,800 So y equals a negative 1,800, remember, because I'm decreasing this every year, plus my original value. Last two problems. All right, so here's the equation. What is the car worth after 6 years? So I'm simply going to plug that in for x because x represents years. So we're simply going to enter that in my calculator. Negative 2682 times 6 plus 32,184, and I get $16,092. What is the car worth after 12 years? So again, I'm plugging in 12 for x into the equation they provided me with. So negative 2682 times 12 plus the beginning value of our car, which was 32,184, 0. So we just found how many years it takes for his car to be worth $0. And so suppose t represents length of time in years. Write an algebraic equation to represent the value. So my car was decreasing 2,682 times t plus the original value. That was kind of a silly question because it's the equation they gave us up above, but replacing x for t. Number 14. So again, here is a graph, and I'm going to use this graph to answer the following questions. What was the value of my car after 4 years? So here's 4. Follow it up to right there. And if I look across, 12,800. Next one, what will it be worth after 5 years? So here's 5. So I'm going to look right here. So I have to find this number here. Well, that is in between, halfway in between 12,800 and 96. Okay, and it's halfway, so I'm going to divide by 2. So 12,800 minus 9,600 divided by 2 gives me 1,600. So I'm going to add that to 9,600. And my car will be worth 11,200. Use the graph to approximate when it'll be half. Well, it looks like they originally bought it for 9,200. So half would mean to divide by 2. So 19,200 divided by 2 equals 9,600. So if I look at this, it's 9,600 here, and follow that down 6 years. Okay. And let's see if we're going to do 15 and 16. Oh, I do need to do these so you can do the two equations. So I have to create an expense and a depreciation function. So depreciation we've done. Okay, so let's stick with that one. Depreciation, that starts out with he purchased it for $36,000. It'll depreciate over 12 years. So 36,000 divided by 12 years gives me 3,000 per year. But this says let x be the number of months. So now I have to take 3,000 and divide that by 12, and that gives me $250 per month. So my depreciation equation is y equals negative 250x plus the original price that he purchased it at. My expense equation represents how much I personally spent. So notice this is based on my monthly payment, and it's also based the cash I'm paying. So I'm paying $610 per month plus my down payment. After how many months will the amount invested in the car be equal to the value of the car? So I'm simply going to set these two equations equal to each other. So negative 250x plus 3600, when will that equal 610x plus 6,000? So I'm going to subtract 3600, okay? And I'm going to subtract 610, whoops. Oh, sorry. This should be 36,000. Up here, this equation should be 36,000. My bad. 610x. So this is gone and this is gone. If I subtract 250 minus 610, I get a negative 860x. 6,000 minus 36,000 is negative 30,000. And if I divide both sides, I get x equals 34.9. And remember, they told us x is in number of months. Last question. Suppose this is an arithmetic sequence. Remember, arithmetic sequence is an equals a1 plus n minus 1 times our common difference. Now, in this one, they've told us that after 7 months, my car is worth $13,200. And after 11 months, my car is only worth $4,400. So they're asking for how much is my car depreciating per month. So I'm actually solving for D. So I'm going to plug in the following. In the 11th month, my 7 month plus 11 minus 7 times D. So A11 is 4,400, 13,200 plus 4D. All right, so I'm going to subtract, and I get, did I set that up wrong? No, I set it up right. I get negative 8,800 equals 4D, divide by 4, and my common difference, it's decreasing negative 220 per month. And that finally concludes this section.